Good afternoon. This is March the 10th on a Wednesday, and behind me we have what is the Build Grant project. And we received about $12.66 million for this Build Grant that we published on a number of occasions, but in this case we're getting public input for this. And so for those of you who have been unable to attend our public meetings, we wanted to present it to you in a video format that you could go back and look at. And so what I'm doing as the mayor is I'm going to offer up Clark Bailey, who is with Kimley Horn, and Henry Minor, who is with Kimley Horn, and they're going to come on and give you the details associated with this project, both the hardscape part as well as the landscaping part. So I just wanted to set it up for them to come in and talk to everyone. We're going to put this on our website so that everybody will have access to it. If you have any questions, we'll be available, both the city engineer as well as myself, and we'll make sure that you're made aware of all the various and sundry timelines associated with this. This is a very lengthy project, over years as a matter of fact. So what we have today is preliminary in nature, but we'll be seeing about how we're going to tweak it because that's part of the public input. So if you see this and you want to ask questions or you want to put input, you're welcome to do so via the Facebook. You're welcome to do that via phone calls, texts, all the social media options. So please, if you would, Mr. Bailey, you want to come forward and I'll get out of the way.
On the western end at Long Street, we are implementing a lot of pedestrian features, and that continues throughout the corridor. But we'll be adding crosswalks to all four corners, as well as some good pedestrian plazas. This is also the beginning of our multi-use pathways. So those will be between 10 and 12 feet and run on both sides of the street for the entire length of the corridor. This is a great opportunity to increase the connection along the corridor for people on foot and bicycles, and it's also a safer way to move up and down to and from businesses, schools, and residences. Moving towards the east, when we get to the school here, we've made a lot of changes and improvements there. One noticeable change is the pickup drop-off area along 182 is being converted to more of an arc and a separated facility from the main line. The other main feature is the addition of a left turn lane from 182 into the school that can help alleviate some of the congestion surrounding pickup and drop-off of the school area. Just get down to here. All right. Moving on towards what we call the core of our project between D.L. Connor and Jackson Street, we have a lot of enhanced features. This area is meant to be more of an extension of downtown Starkville, and it really an attraction for the future, for future development and growth in the area. Our sidewalks and our bikeways have split here, so we have separated sidewalks and bike paths. There's also enhanced landscaping through this corridor, along with medians, lots of street trees as well. One of the key items we're trying to say, do you want me to bring up all the development potential and all that, or is that?
It doesn't have to be that specific.
All right.
Just provide with the trees and the core, the downtown piece of that. That was good. So that you're bringing downtown into that area.
One of the goals of this project, and that went into the application for the grant, is to help revitalize the corridor and encourage redevelopment of properties. Especially in this core area, we envision in the future some of the businesses and buildings being renovated with future restaurants or different businesses that will front our sidewalk and create a lot more life for the area. The city also owns a property just here, just to the south of the Family Dollar on the north side of the road, and we'll be grading this property and enhancing it somewhat to serve as a public space right off the bat from the project, but also longer term in the future. Continuing east in the project, our multi-use path continues. We've got a little bit tighter right-of-way to the east of Jackson, and so we're doing our best to keep all the facilities and the amenities for the project through this area, but certainly get constrained at points. Passing over Montgomery Street and continuing to Old West Point Road, we continue the pathways and the street trees, as well as some significant upgrades here at Old West Point Road, including tightening of the intersection, some new sidewalks and crosswalks, as well as a new traffic signal with mast arms. And finally, the project ties into the recently awarded TAP grant project, which will take a multi-use path using the existing roadway on 182 to the east to the College View Apartments.
Great. Thanks so much, Clark. Yeah, so one of the things that we really were focusing on when we were looking at the master plan and designing of this project was how are we going to create a corridor here that prioritizes people and pedestrians and not as much focus on the cars. Obviously, we're going to create a very safe corridor for the cars to continue to travel up and down Highway 182, but we're really going to put a lot of emphasis on creating spaces and places where people want to be. And in order to do that, what we're going to be introducing are some really key landscape elements. First of all, there will be a landscape area that will separate the multi-use path from the roadway. This landscape area will have street trees in it and sod and enhanced landscape plantings in certain areas. But the goal is to create an environment where people feel safe to travel up and down the corridor on bike or on foot. And in order to do that, it's important that we introduce these landscape elements to create that physical barrier to really create a much more safe and inviting pedestrian experience along the corridor. As we look at the design of introducing these landscaped elements and also looking at introducing decorative crosswalks, the key is that throughout the entire corridor from the western end to the eastern end, we're using similar elements, similar landscape materials to really create cohesive aesthetic character from one end to the other and really make this corridor have a really strong identity. Overall, there's going to be a significant increase to the amount of street trees that will be planted along this corridor. This will add tree canopy, which helps creating a much more inviting place to be with providing shade. It also helps to really encourage cars to slow down. And so a lot of this, again, is a traffic calming exercise to making sure that the master plan and the design that we're putting forward accomplishes both of those things. Slowing down the traffic, enhancing the aesthetics of the entire corridor, and again, prioritizing people and creating places where people want to be. In this core area, as Clark talked about, there's going to be really a lot of enhanced landscape material in here, parallel parking, and this will really be kind of an area, again, where people will want to come and sit. There will be benches, there will be pedestrian lighting, and really, again, as we see this area kind of develop and start to become a connection or an extension of downtown, this will be a great place for future events and gathering, and really just become a great extension of downtown area. On the gateway area here on the eastern end, as you're coming into Starkville, really a lot of heavy landscaping there, again, to help set the tone as you're entering into the district. This gateway design is really intended to create that feeling as cars or pedestrians are coming into this corridor, that they have a sense of arrival, and that's something that's really going to be important to, again, creating that character for this corridor as you come into it. Thank you.